be your body language profile, which is how you carry yourself, how you represent yourself to the world. So understand there's two representational systems. There's internal representation, how I internally see myself, how I see and feel about me, how Ben sees Ben, how Craig sees Craig. Your internal representation or thoughts about yourself. And they are induced, of course, by what you see, what you hear, what you feel, what you smell, what you taste. Your five senses give you your representation of the world and your representation of others, and also your representation of what you are. Hence, many people have a very self-destructive idea of what they are. They lack in confidence. They tend to self-sabotage because they don't have control of their thoughts. But if you have the internal representation that you are bold, proud, good person, willing to stand for what's right. Well, I ask you, if I said to you, stand in front of me as an exercise now, which I am going to do, and I said to you, what do you think proud, bold, standing bold and proud looks like? You'd probably go, so I've literally done it, raised my sternum. I just lifted my sternum up. Everyone knows my posture used to be shit for years, and I've worked on it for a long time. But imagine that I lift my sternum and I tap my shoulder blades together. So I'm not exaggerating any pose, I just lift my sternum and lift my chin. Now straight away I'm standing tall as I would if I was proud and if I was bold. Because bold don't look like this.
Exactly,
bold looks like that. Do you understand? So I'm putting my physiology, my body language profile, where I want my emotional state to be. And in this case, because I have to deal with a problem that I'd rather negotiate and put you off at a psychological level, I've developed a very acute way now in my life for a long time of being able to dissuade you from wanting to take a bite of me because I don't fucking taste good. And although you know I'm older, I'm old, I'm tired, and I'm mean, and I'm not fond of people, particularly people that act a cunt. So I love my people, and I'm striving with this, you know, elevated version of myself to love others. But it's hard work because I don't suffer fools well, never have. So you should pick that up from me, and that would be a vibe that you should listen to, because an old bear is still a fucking bear, right? So, but a lot of people don't use their physiology in that way. So my physiology, if I am under threat, will display that message. Well, in which case then, how am I stood? How do I look? What is my expression? What is my posture? So you want to put your physiology where you want your head to be. So let's use a different example. Let's imagine somebody that is very depressed and pissed off and always got a grey outcome, and the cup is always half empty and it's always about them. We all know people like that, right? Well, most times when we see people like that, they make you feel like shit because they're energy vampires. So you're fucking ducking them so you don't see them, right? It's not the best thing to do, and I certainly would strive not to do it now. I try to give people my help and my attention, but like I said, you get energy vampires. Well, that person's physiology, because they're running the idea that everything is shit, is what you call below eye line. So imagine this is eye line for a naturally go-get person that's confident and happy in their own skin. Well, below eye line, which would be a slumped posture, drop the head, a small cone of vision, don't make eye contact, look down at the floor, move very slowly so no one notices me, and I'm small. And defeated, it's a very defeated posture. Well, if you ever feel suddenly scared, overwhelmed by something, I don't know, imagine opening a letter and you get in the consequence of the letter is you're fucking bankrupt, took all your money, you could go to prison. Imagine something like that. Whatever, I don't give a fuck about any of that, but imagine. Well, you're immediately, oh, wow, really, look at what they're saying. Look at how my posture started to wither and fall apart, right? So your thoughts put your physiology where it thinks you're best off. And because your thoughts are thinking, oh shit, no, foreboding, it will make you go small in an innate way not to get noticed. But it accentuates the feeling. Conversely to that, let's say you are in traffic and getting agitated. Fucking come on, bam, fuck, so giving it that, right? Well, you'll notice that there's tension in your face, in your shoulders, your arm, your whole, you're agitated, you're jumpy, you're fidgety, you're impatient. Well, the physiology that goes around with that is also below eye line. It's very rounded and forward. But now it's moving more into the realms of what you call predatory physiology. Because in this car by yourself, any minute now, some inanimate object is going to fucking get it. I'm going to take the mirror off and throw it out the window. Or if I was around people, I'd be combative, potentially. Agitated, willing to fight. And what you'll notice about somebody who's combative and aggressive is they're craning forward, nose over toes, predatory behaviours coming forward. I want to get to you. Like you're chewing at the bit to get off the lead. That's what we want to adopt when we blitzkrieg and when we preempt and when we engage with our hands up when we're prepared. Even if I'm smiling, I've got that clandestine part of me ready to go. So physiology, when you are predatory, that belongs. If you're trying to be more positive in life or be more confident in yourself, then imagine, let's say, I don't know, what example can I use for you? Let's say that you're going for your third dan grading, because I know you do karate, right? And let's just hypothetically say, well, you're not quite ready for it. And you, depending on which examiner you get, you should be all right. Oh, fuck it, be a winging and prayer in it, right? Well, your physiology, because that's what you're doing, will accompany that thought process. And it will walk in, is he here? Oh, anyone notice me? And you'll start whatever it is you do first. I come from a traditional karate background. Whether you did Kyon, fucking basics, whether you did kata, whether you did kumite, you'll start and you'll be nervous. But if you have the kind of physiology of, oh, I hope I can do this, then your physiology will put your emotional state, or your emotional state rather, will put your physiology to its less than best operative position, right? Conversely to that, if I know in myself, as I do in myself, that if I was to walk into said grading, I'll be the fucking performance of the night. And in fact, they're looking forward for me turning up because they know I got this and I know I got this. Well, what would my physiology look like if that was true? I don't mean cocky and strut. I just mean extremely fucking confident I got this. Well, that physiology would be tall, proud, can't wait, looking forward to, making eye contact, smiling, being quite happy to be the focus point of attention in the room because I'm confident in my own skin. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I went to, one of the best opportunities I ever had some years ago is Kelly McCann, who is the dom of this business, called me on my phone, fuck knows how he got my number, and in short invited me to go to the Crucible in Virginia to make 2 videos for Paladin Press, right, on their dollar. So the experience of that, first of all, would be like, wow. And then when you think about it, you'd be like, oh. That weren't it for me at all. It was like, wow, can't wait. And really, as an honour, it would be like somebody like Robbie Williams singing with Frank Sinatra to be able to go and work with your top peer, right, on their dollar. Well, when I got there, I acted in the facility of the Crucible, which was huge. I had first floor down here, I had Marines stood looking over the top. I want to see what this old boy can do, right? Didn't have a beard then, I looked a bit younger, but... And they're all watching over like so. I had Kelly McCann there at the head of them, just sat there like that, and I had this guy, Peter Lund, who owned Paladin Press. He was, you ready, boy? Like this. And I was like, fucking born ready, Pop, let's do it. And I gave a presentation that didn't even take one retake. Yeah. And why did I do that? Well, not because I'm a hot shit. I mean, I love this shit, and I've done this shit most days of my life for 42 years. How can you not get good? And I do believe that something is working through me so that I can give this information to others, because I believe I can deliver it really well. And, you know, in all honesty, there's many things I don't do well, but I do this well. It's almost like someone's working through me. Well, imagine that level of confidence then, even walking towards your peer. You know, the Dominus business, Kelly McCann, looking over the top with all these Marines by him and this top film crew that was like, you sure we want this guy? You know, they need convincing. Yeah, you got to go out there and you got to fucking perform. And it was no performance to me at all. I had no adrenaline, nothing. I just, in fact, couldn't wait to get there. Well, imagine the physiology. I think there's a clip, actually. There's a clip where Kelly's introducing me at the Crucible. And you can see I'm fucking walking in there loud and proud. I'm game. So my physiology, the way I walked in, I walk straight spine, confident gait, brisk pace, make eye contact, smile, straight away interact on all levels. Well, that says you're confident in your own skin. Well, if you can cultivate that kind of body language profile in your students from a self-protection perspective, you will make them much less likely to be selected as a victim of assault in the first place.
Yeah.
Because imagine the person that walks around like this, whether they're agitated and angry, whether they're just depressed and foreboding, you know. But they'll attract the predatory optic. So the predatory optic is, the first thing they look for is weakness. This, to me, living life below eye line, says weakness on a psychological level. Conversely, somebody that's happy and buoyant, living their life above eye line, will be much more upright, buoyant, uplifting, much more the kind of person you want to be around, because they keep the energy high. Make sense?
Yeah.
So, really, really important that you, and if that's not you straight away, or the people that you give this lesson to somebody else, and it's not them straight away, they naturally have this habit, then I would say put your physiology where you want your emotional state to be. And the best example of this drill comes from Paul McKenna, the theatrical hypnotist and NLP practitioner. Right?
Yeah.
He says do this, right? So if you feel agitated and angry and aggressive, you're like this, right? For one experiment, just literally straighten your spine, throw your head back, looking right at the sky. So I'm opening up the thorax. It's no longer predatory. I'm no longer forward on my toes. I'm actually back on my heels, or stabilised and based, which immediately changes emotional state. And I throw my head back, and I put a silly fucking smile, and I laugh my fucking head off. I just fake laugh my head off. Like so, right? My neighbours think I'm fucking nuts, I'm sure. Right. Well, in that moment, I am no longer aggressive. I am no longer aggressive. In that moment, I am elated. So practice this little exercise, right? I'm going to have to just kneel down to give you it, because I can't put my arms above my head in here because of this. But I would do this standing on my feet. Just take both hands in a peace sign and put your hands up like you are victorious. So imagine that victory pose where you're like, yes, fuck yes, and you're looking up. And do it for 1 minute in the mirror, just victory pose. As if you are totally soul dominant. You just prevailed and won. Whatever it was, victory. Well, you'll notice the physiology that will associate the emotional state of that feeling is much upright and bold. So if you feel shit, put your physiology where you want your emotional state to be. So if you're feeling shitty or agitated, you could do that. You could do the victory pose and tell yourself everything's going to be fucking cool. Or if you're sat just in your car, you could just do it with your shoulders. Just raise your sternum and stop your thoughts and think about how you think more productively. Now your physiology, where you've put your body language, reflects your emotional state, how you now think and therefore feel. Make sense?
Yeah, brilliant. Cheers. It's like you're saying, you feel how you think and you think how you feel.
Yeah. So you are your thoughts. I know I'm learning now, right? The ultimate a man can do is get complete control of his thoughts. control your thoughts. If you control your thoughts, you'll control how you react to your thoughts, which are your feelings. And if you can control your feelings, you'll control the results that you get. So, and what you do. So, what you think affects how you think, affects how you feel. How you feel affects what you do. And what you do affects the results you get back. So I need to think in the right way. So meditation is really useful to quieten the analytical mind. Just quieten the monkey brain. And meditation is how I found it, right? There's many ways of doing that. But what you do when you meditate is, I'm cognitively aware of nothing. So my thoughts come and they go to the point where my thoughts are just still. There's no analytical mind. I'm thinking nothing. And I'm aware of my breathing. I can hear it. I can feel it inside out. I'm aware of all noises around me, all smells. My eyes are shut, so the only thing I can see is dark or light. I'm aware of what I taste, what I feel, how my body feels. I'm aware of everything that my senses tell me, all at exactly the same moment, but without any judgment or resistance. I'm aware of all at once. So my mind is quiet. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, I do it myself. I do meditation.
Brilliant. Right. Well, yeah, karate kind of influence gave me it really early, but I never really understood it early on. I've only done it really since all this shit, the last couple of years. But what it gives me now is this. Any stimuli that comes my way, I mean, I do have good emotional control anyway, you know, particularly with people that are even potentially a threat, but it's not personal to me. If it becomes personal to me or mine, then there's more of an emotional attachment, but I'm still in control of it. But what meditation allows me to do is, rather than stimulus respond, which can sometimes be stimulus knee-jerk respond, now I get stimulus, pause, respond. It gives me a breath space in the middle. Stimulus, pause, respond. And now in that pause moment, I can choose how I respond. That's state management. So it all plugged into what we were talking about, controlling emotional state, physiology, because what also controls your emotional state is where you put your body language. So if you were to use your body language as a resource for your student for self-protection, the way in which you would use it as a resource would be to create or cultivate a confident body language profile. Somebody who walks eyes above eye line, straight spine, walking at a brisk pace, confident gait, quite happy to engage. Everything about you said you're comfortable in your own skin. And comfortable in your own skin to a criminal says resistance. So it won't necessarily stop you from being selected if pickings are slim in terms of victim selection, but they're much more likely to bypass you, particularly if you're a grey person, you just blend in and pick the next easy target. So body language profile is important, and how you reflect your mood. Who wants to be fucking miserable all day? Now put your physiology as if you had the best life in the world. Imagine you had the best life Ben could have. How would you feel about that? Well, what would your thoughts be? How would you hold your body? How would you talk? How would you smile at people? Just ask yourself those questions and then model the experience. You know, act as if. And you've got to manifest your own, what you want in life, you know. You've got to manifest it, so act by doing it.
Exactly, nice one.
Alright, bro, I'm sorry to waffle now, I'm going to fuck off.
Nice one. Cheers, mate.
See you later.